Hello. How's it going? What is happening on this fine... What is tomorrow? What is happening on this fine Thursday morning? Or whenever you're watching this. Probably dropped at 11 o'clock on Thursday, March 26th, if I didn't screw anything up. But maybe you're watching this some other time. Anyways, here's a question for y'all. What do you know about the mandate of heaven as a concept? Not any one mandate in particular, and not any like one part of the world in particular, but just like as a concept, how do we feel about the mandate of heaven? Are we familiar? Is this like a thing that is in the cultural zeitgeist as a thing that people know? Because in my heart, I feel like it's a thing that people know. If somebody came up to me and was like, hey, do you know what the mandate of heaven is? I'd be like, yeah, I'm familiar with the concept. I could explain it to you. And if somebody came up to me and they were like, I'm doing something by the divine right of the mandate of heaven, I'd be like, this person's insane. But also I understand what they're talking about, right? Well, I've been trying to run this as a bit recently. Also, I've done it a few times in the past where I'm like, somebody's telling me, oh, why are you doing it that way? And just like, as a joke. Just to be clear, I'm not that crazy. As a joke, I'm like, oh, I'm doing it by the right invested in me by the mandate of heaven, or something similar along those lines, right? I have to explain it to almost everybody what that means. Like, what it means to do something per the mandate of heaven. Which means I have since then also kind of stopped doing the bit, because it's not fun if you have to explain the bit every time, man. But I feel like people know what the mandate of heaven is. Like, there's no way I'm crazy here. Also, in all fairness, hearing myself say this out loud, it kind of makes sense that people don't know what the mandate of heaven is, because why would they? Hey, look at that over there. I see the llama. It kind of makes sense, because why would you know that unless you either one are super tapped into history, or you just like know random things? Because nobody in the modern era is talking about the mandate of heaven, but I feel like in my heart I have heard it come up enough times, not even in college specifically, just like in high school, even in middle school. I feel like we were talking about the mandate of heaven, and maybe people just weren't as tapped in as I was to the long-term remembrance of the things we're speaking on in these classes. But I feel like that was a funny enough one where I'm like, I'm putting that in the memory bank for later, you know? Because that's just something that I feel like would be maybe not super useful to know, but it would like come up as it is coming up right now, where I'm using it in the context of, oh, I'm doing something by the mandate of heaven. God has ordained me so. But evidently, I mean, the bit doesn't work if people don't know what I'm talking about. Which, I mean, you could argue that then it's an even greater bit, because now I'm having to explain the bit. So it's already a really stupid bit, but now it's an even stupider bit, because now I'm having to explain it. And then they're like, oh, why is that funny? And I'm like, I mean, it's really not. It's just, I mean, you either think it's funny or you don't think it's funny. There's no amount of me explaining that's going to convince you that that's funny. It's one of those things, your brain is either wired that way or it ain't. And if it ain't, well, I may have just used my ult on you and I just like completely whiffed. Because I feel like it's a pretty good bit, man. It's up there with the who up something and they something, when somebody says something just like real normal. When they're like, hey, does anybody have a marker I can use on this board? And then you're like, who up marking they board? And then they look at you, and either it like kills and everybody's dying of laughter, or they're like, who is this guy? Get this guy out of here, man. What is this guy on about? Which, at that point, hopefully you've got enough of a dial. To be fair, I never have enough of a dial on this, but hopefully you, if you use this bit, have enough of a dial to know when to not do that. When it's just not going to work. Because sometimes there's some bangers, man, and then sometimes there's some just, it didn't work. It didn't work, and there's no saving it. But if you find one of the rare ultimate combinations, as they say, as the kids say. Also, I didn't mean to do that. Then it's goated. Also, no kid says that, by the way. I don't. No, none of the kids these days are saying ultimate combination. I'm not even saying that outside of this one specific context. Not that I'm the kids these days, because I'm... Oh, I guess it really depends on your point of view here. If you're like 50, perhaps I'm the kids these days. But if you are the actual kids these days, I would say me as the 22-year-old is not one of the kids these days. In fact, some of the people like that I be knowing here at college, I'm like unk status to them, which is a little unfortunate for the program. But also, I'm about to graduate, so I guess compared to like a college freshman, I am unk. But I don't know. The ramblings of unk over here. Am I right? But yeah. Or if you didn't pick up on this already from the gameplay, we're mixing it up a little bit today. Playing some more OG instead of the normal Fortnite. Still not a huge fan of that map. I'm also like, there's not that much to do on this one though if you can't build, and I'm not playing build. That will not be happening anytime soon. Unless I start hating myself, then maybe I'll do it. But as of right now, I'm a little in the... I'm coming back from the long day factory, right? I'm not going to put myself through hell for build. I already might be hopping on Overwatch later if I get summoned, which... That's like just going right back to the long day factory, man. Unless you're winning, then it's like, this is so nice. But you can hop on like Fort, or I might even hop on some Hollow Knight Silksong. And even if I'm not making a lot of progress or it's going kind of poorly, it's still like a fun time. If you're losing at a hero shooter or a team, really like any kind of team-based game where your team is like integral to the success of the video game, if you're losing just on cooldown, it's the worst thing ever. There's no coming back from that. It's just terrible time. But I missed. Okay, I might be terrible. Never mind, I might be the GOAT. Also, did that guy shoot at me like at all? Because I feel like he did not. That's not what I wanted to do. I want to put that down and then get that and then take this, I guess. I'm probably not going to use it though, because I suck with the snipers. If we're being super honestly, I'm probably better off keeping the scoped rifle, because at least this is hit scan. The other thing is not. Unless the person's standing still, I cannot hit a shot with the sniper. And even if they are standing still, I'll probably still miss the first one. At which point they're going to move again, and I'm going to be so sad that they moved and not know what to do, and then go back to my rifle and just shoot them from 8 years away with my assault rifle anyways. So, might as well just start with the scoped one, you know? You know what I'm saying? Okay. So... I don't even know how to preface this. This is an insane topic change, by the way, but I need a minion outfit, right, for a function, which means that I need a yellow shirt, I need overalls, and I need the goggles, right? And that's like enough minion. That's like most of the outfit if you were gonna just be a minion, right? If you were going to dress up as a minion, that's pretty much what you need. Plus maybe some face paint or a bald cap. But that's a lot of work, and I don't feel like doing all that. But anyways. So I got some overalls today. They're pretty fire, actually. I'm kind of glad I have some overalls now. But I don't think they're going to make their way into the normal clothes rotation. Because it seems like... I mean, I like the funny fits. But like the little out there, you know? But it feels like a little bit too much. But maybe that opinion will change. But anyways, I've got a yellow shirt coming in the mail from the biggest Amazon in a couple days. But I also got in the mail some mason jar lids, because what I want to do is I want to use the rings of the lids to make the goggles. Because not only am I making my own goggles, but I think I also need to make pairs for everybody else, which means that I kind of need a lot of goggles. And this seemed like a pretty easy way, pretty reasonable way to make like a dozen pairs of them because it's like I think $12 for like 24 lids. Oh shit. No. God. But yeah. So I'm making some minion goggles. It's pretty fire. I got Bob in my frame that I made to the right of me right here. But yeah, I think that's probably it for today. I am hungry. Yeah. So I'm gonna go eat. Adios. See y'all later.